everyone, my name is Rayni Peavy, and I'm really honored to be a part of Quarter Life Conference today. If there's one thing that I'm super passionate about, it's healthy relationships, because God created us for a relationship with Himself and with other people. So the more emotionally healthy that we can be in relating to each other, the better off we're all going to be. I've learned that personally in my own life. So today I want to talk with you about how to handle conflict in a relationship. But before we jump into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a writer and a speaker. I'm a regular contributor for StartMarriageRight.com and Christian Mingle, and I'm a semi-newlywed. I've been married to my wonderful husband Joel for 4 years, and I always like to hear about what other couples like to do together. So one of the things that we like to do is every week make tacos and watch Project Runway while we sit on the couch in our pajamas. I promise we also do interesting things, and we actually do talk to each other, but that's something about us. At the end of this video, I also want to mention a book I just wrote. It's available on Amazon.com, and it's all about relationships, but for right now, let's jump in. So, a difficulty for a lot of couples is learning how to navigate conflict in relationships, and most of us don't want to be mean or disrespectful to our significant other, whether we're dating, engaged, or married. But when we grow up with a lot of unresolved issues or emotional wounds, or maybe we've grown up around adults who don't really have healthy ways to relate to each other, those bad relationship habits can get ingrained in us from an early age. But the good news is that we can always learn new and healthier ways to communicate and handle conflict. And when we're in relationship with God, He's working to transform us to make us more like Himself. So that's double good news. So what biblical values are there to consider when we're talking about dealing with conflict in relationships? A couple of verses that come to mind right away are from Ephesians 4:29, 31 through 32. It says, "Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you." And also from Colossians 3:12 through 14. "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity." So these scriptures give us a list of biblical values that are so important for any relationship, and listen to all of the great words and ideas that are in these. Love, patience, kindness, compassion, forgiveness, gentleness, humility. Use words that build up rather than tear down. Use the model of Jesus' way of forgiving wholly and completely. And get rid of all of the things that are opposite of these values, like getting rid of bitterness, rage, slander, malice. So how do we put these biblical values into action when we're working through conflict? Learning to communicate is a key here. So here are some suggestions to consider when you're handling a conflict. And these are all things that I've experienced that work well in my own life. So first thing, decide ahead of time that you're going to work as a team, your partners. Whether you're dating, you're engaged, you're married. You can look at it as your partners. So don't take sides. Instead, work as a team to work through the roadblocks. And always choose respect. Resist yelling, calling each other names, bringing up past grievances. Treat your significant other the way that you want to be treated. And when your boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse speaks, really listen. Listen to what they're saying, and be open to them speaking truth into your life, even if it's not something you necessarily want to hear. If you're worked up emotionally, always give each other time to cool down. Acting mature can be much more difficult when emotions are escalated. And try to avoid talking about serious issues when you're tired or hungry or just got home from work. One great tip that I learned several years ago is to make an appointment with your significant other. That way you set a day and a time for when you're going to talk about a really big issue. So you've both had a chance to think about it and pray about it ahead of time and be prepared for it. You're not just dropping a bomb on the other person and expecting it to go well. That usually doesn't go well. Also, be willing to get counsel when necessary. Biblical counseling is a godly thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. It can be really helpful to talk with someone else about deeper issues. And this one is probably the most important thing. Become as emotionally healthy as you can be. This means identifying and getting to the root cause of unhealthy communication, lifestyle choices, and coping mechanisms, and learning to replace those with healthy and mature ways to live. So those root causes are something that God can and will definitely reveal to you, but also a godly counselor can also help you to work through those. You know, the more that I've been intentional about working through my own issues and seeking God, letting Him transform me, the more emotionally healthy I've become, and the more I've been able to learn to communicate in healthier ways and to handle conflict better. So I hope those are some helpful tips, and I hope that you feel encouraged that you can learn how to handle conflict well and communicate well. So what I just talked about today and many other topics that make for great relationships, I talk about and write about more in depth in my new book. It's available right now on Amazon.com as an ebook or paperback. It's called 10 Marriage Lessons from a Semi-Newlywed. Super excited about it. It's a short and encouraging read, so go to Amazon and check it out if you want. And also, if you are looking for more videos, podcasts, or articles about relationships and faith, you can visit me at my website, RayniPeavy.com. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.